Anthropic has updated their documentation, and it's not really clear if my account's going to get banned or not. And so a lot of people are actually talking about this right now, and things are currently changing. So I thought I would come on live and figure out, are we going to get banned? What's going on? And we should also probably learn how we can change model providers. And I can show you how you can use your Codex subscription to start interacting with OpenClaw if you're actually interested in that. I last night changed my model to Sonnet 4.6 and had some issues with some rate limiting. And I also wanted to kind of cover some of those types of issues as well. So in this live stream here today, what I'm doing is this is a tweet from Thariq over from the Anthropic team. And from here, basically, he actually just commented literally like at 10 o'clock, like almost an hour ago or something like that, saying, apologies, this was a docs confusion. For those who are unaware, what ended up happening here was that Rob tweeted this morning at 4 a.m. here in Hawaii, saying that there is a policy clear up from Anthropic that using the OAuth tokens obtained through Claude Free, Pro, and the Max account and any other product tool or service, including the agent SDK, is not permitted. And so he previously had linked this legal and compliance document from the actual Claude code documentation. And in here, it actually reads that authentication and credential use. So Claude Code authenticates with Anthropic servers. Mind you, this is the latest version right now that we're reading. So let's go ahead and read this together and try to understand what's going on and see if I can pick up what they're putting down, because this is a little crazy and I want to figure out what's going on before we do anything, right? I feel like a lot of people are going to jump to conclusions, but we're just going to figure this out here. So Claude Code authenticates with Anthropic's servers using the OAuth tokens or API keys. Let me see if I can pull up an eraser IO diagram in the meantime and see if we can kind of do something in the background. So I want to also try to visualize it for us so that we can understand what's happening, because there's a lot of terms that are flying around and not everyone is like a developer. And even if you are a developer, it's still very confusing because lawyer speak is very word specific, and ownership is also has to be very clear in terms of who is actually the person who's making the request. Is it actually you? Is it an app you make that other people are using that are interacting with it? There's like a lot of these really weird nuances, and this is not legal advice. This is literally just me, an engineer, yapping to you on a stick, a camera type of thing. And I'm just trying to figure this out live. And please do not take this as any type of information that you would take to do anything for yourself. You should be able to think through this out loud, and I'm just basically doing this as a live stream. So think of this as more for entertainment purposes than it is anything else. So let's go ahead and entertain this idea and try to understand this, by the way. So now that that stuff's out of the way, let's see. So these authentication methods, we're going back. Claude Code authenticates using Anthropic servers using the OAuth tokens or API keys. These authentication methods serve different purposes. So there's two different ones that you can authenticate with. If you ever use the Claude setup token, you're basically going to use an OAuth authentication method. And if you've ever gone to console. The developer console here, the Claude console, this is where you can actually go to their platform and get an API key. And that's something that you can, like my apps that I use, I can get an API key and then you can use it and so forth. So there's actually two different purposes here. In the OAuth authentication, if it's used with the free, pro, or max plan, it is intended exclusively for Claude Code or Claude.ai. So using OAuth tokens obtained through Claude Free, Pro, or Max accounts in any other product, tool, or service, including the agent SDK, is not permitted or constitutes a violation of consumer terms of service. So what they're saying here is that I can't go make an app and then just put my OAuth token in it and say, hey, you guys can use this. For example, like if I publish an app to the App Store and I store my token in a private server somewhere, and I have Claude Code running, if you're using my app to go look up some information, you take a photo or interact with something, and it hits my app and that app is running Claude Code and it's doing some stuff, that technically is a violation because I'm using my own plan, but other people are using my app to interact with it and interact with Anthropic. So that would basically constitute, for me, if I'm thinking out loud, as like a violation of the terms of service. And so that's interesting. Just kind of keep that in mind as far as kind of where we're going with this or what this actually means, right? So developers building products or services that interact with Claude's capabilities. So including those using the agent SDK. So it should use an API key authentication through Claude Console or direct or supported cloud provider. So Anthropic does not permit third-party developers to offer a Claude.ai login and route requests through free, pro, or max credentials on the behalf of their users. So this is another thing. This is kind of similar to this idea here. So instead of me storing it and letting people use my key, this is basically saying, hey, I make an app and I'm going to allow you to authenticate with your own account and then use the agent SDK or something else to authenticate and basically have the AI login or route request through these types of credentials on behalf of their users. So I can't publish an app to the App Store or put something out there that says, hey, click this button so that you can go ahead and log in. And then once you click this button, you can use your own account to log into Anthropic. That's definitely a violation of the terms of services. So, okay, that's two different scenarios. One is I, as a developer, host my key on the cloud, my cloud, like in the cloud, and my cloud is running Claude code. I can't let you like basically ping my instance and benefit from that, because that's the OAuth token. It's meant for me. It's meant exclusively for the Claude.ai or Claude code specifically. So like interacting with those products. If you're a developer, let's just say like I publish an app and I say, hey, like I have this infrastructure and it allows you to basically push this button to go to somewhere else and authenticate. Then that basically also violates it too, right? Because then you're now downloading an app from the App Store, doing something like that, and then I'm using my own plan to basically use that product, and that's from like the developer standpoint. So I think if you're I think that's kind of the separation there. So it's like if you provide an infrastructure and you did all the code, and then someone else can authenticate and use their own plan, that technically is a violation. Is kind of what I'm picking up here. And so if you want to basically build your own product, though, like personally, if you're just testing the agent SDK for yourself, it's my understanding that you can do it for your own self, right? So developers building products or services that interact with Claude's capabilities, including agent SDK, should use API key authentication through console or support a collaborator. It does not permit third-party developers to offer a login or route request through here. So you can use it for your own purposes. So if you make an app for yourself and you want to use the agent SDK or a product like that, then you can technically use your API key. So developers building products or services that interact does not permit their or route requests from their credentials on behalf of their users. So because you're not doing it on behalf of our users, but if you're using it on behalf of yourself, then I think that's okay, right? But this goes back to up here for the setup token, right? So using tokens obtained through here in any other product, tool, or services, including agent SDK, is not permitted. So it's exclusively, so I think this is kind of where these two areas really conflict, because you can identify as a developer and say, I make a fork of an app and then I use my own key. Technically, I'm allowed, right? Like I can run that in my own infrastructure. I could use it for my own thing. I'm not selling my bot as a service. And I think maybe that's kind of where the line gets drawn. It's like people are probably selling these things as services to other people. So then they're only using their own Claude subscription, or they're buying specifically maybe a subscription for Claude code. And then, specifically like saying, hey, you can just ping my bot and it's over here and it's running under my thing, and I'll charge you $200 a month or something silly, right? So Anthropic reserves the right to take measures to enforce these restrictions. For questions not permitted authentication methods, you should use your use case or contact sales. Okay, this is really interesting. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the questions, because I'm just as confused as probably as you are as well, because I'm not really sure what's going on. But huge shout outs to TechBrain. Thank you so much for popping in. A lot of people will be canceling their $200 a month plan over this if they continue to enforce the ToS violation. I think I think they're trying to clear it up, but it's really hard to understand specifically what it's being used for, because you can't necessarily ban an open source product, right? But they can ban different use cases. And I think that's what they're trying to define here. I'm not trying to defend them, by the way. I'm really outraged by the confusion, because it's not really clear. And that's kind of why I wanted to do this live stream and talk it out instead of just raging it out, right? So my thinking is that if you are a developer, if like you have to probably identify yourself as a developer and use it for your own developer use cases, then you can definitely use the agent SDK. You could definitely like use your credentials to log in and start to develop and build products for this. Because if you are building an agent SDK product, you can use your Claude console, you either use an API key or use your token to develop the product, right? And then when you do want to ship it to other people, you're going to just put an API key behind it. And there you go. Now you can offer, like you can literally have OpenClaw behind an API key and serve it to other people and say, hey, for a realtor, I'll charge you, $2,000 a month. And this thing will make phone calls. This will answer all the questions. This will do everything for you. And all it is just OpenClaw, but with an Anthropic API key. Cool. You're making money. That's cool. Like that's all in the terms of services, but you can't say, hey, I'm going to buy a Claude subscription and pay $200 a month and put that token in there and then offer that as the same service. That's technically violating the terms of service. So I think that's kind of what's coming to light here. It's just more that like they're not banning a product, but they're banning different use cases because it goes against the terms of services, to kind of make that clear, right? So, hey, Rob, how's it going? Yeah, we're trying to get some clarity here on what's going on with the different stuff here. So just ask Claude to see what it thinks. Tyler, I agree with that, and I think I'm going to get there as well. I think the first part of it is trying to think through this as a human so that it becomes clear in my mind, because I'm trying I'm trying to exercise what's up here so that it becomes stronger, because I don't want to delegate too much to an AI for thinking, if you know what I mean. Since OpenClaw spins up Claude code instances, then everything should be based on that terms of services, as long as you don't resell. I think that's kind of maybe what's happening. I think as an OpenClaw user, it's technically an agent, right? And it uses Pi underneath the hood, and it's operating for, like your own, like if it's for your own use cases, then you should be able to do whatever you want. I think that's kind of what it is. And that is allowed, but you can't like then go sell services and have people use your key for it, if you know what I mean. So I think that's what it is. Finally, they're streaming about OpenClaw. I just completely removed my copy because it was more than a hassle than benefit. I think I feel you on this, because there's a couple different camps, and I kind of want to maybe clear that up too. So this OpenClaw product is still early. So a lot of people who are getting started with this basically may figure out that this is too much to maintain. And it's very true. It's going to require probably having a Claude code subscription, because you're going to have to constantly update this thing, fix any bugs. And as they push updates, it could break things that you currently have established. When it's working, it's really great, but it's going to be going through a lot of updates. And so this is something that is like a very early alpha product, and it's been taking off a lot. And I think it's definitely a playground. So if you're not like really invested in that time, or you don't have a lot of time, you may want to hire someone or pay someone who's going to do this for you. And you'll probably pay a lot of money, because obviously if they're using an API key or paying $200 a month, that's probably not allowed. Or they'll have different alternatives or different APIs for your use cases. So yeah, I think this is definitely the feels right now if you're not into this. But I actually just started, like I have a Discord group, and I've just become a lot more active because I'm using OpenClaw. So if you're one of those people who wants to kind of dig in a little bit further, who wants to basically, tinker with other folks who are kind of doing that same page, a lot of people have recently joined, and I have a couple skills that I'm posting. I'm going to keep posting some more skills there. You're going to get early access, but I have the Discord link pinned up here. But I'm going to put this in the chat as well, so that way folks can join who are interested into the Discord here. Let me see if I can put this into the chat. So yeah, if you check out the Discord, it's just $14.99 a month, and you can kind of join us and hang out. We talk a lot about AI coding, but OpenClaw has kind of been the recent thing, and I've been publishing a couple skills. I have a couple my memory thing, and I'm just going to keep digging further into OpenClaw. As I get updates or as stuff like this happens, I'll basically be going live, but also posting about it in the Discord and keeping up on this latest thing, because this is pretty important for me as far as workflows, and I want to try to really figure this out. And then later on in this stream, probably in the next couple of minutes after I answer some of the questions, we're going to try to see how we can get an API key set up with Sonnet if you're really interested, or how to like configure the models. Other people who are still using the Claude code, the plan for the setup token, there's actually a way to change the model provider just using a command line, and it's not really that complicated. So I want to make sure I cover that as well for those who are joining in. Yes. Yes, $14.99. So it's basically for those, I'm trying to keep it very high signal. It's really amazing because a lot of people haven't joined who are normally like in the free Discords, and it's just really hard to police. So if people pay money, it's really nice because there's actually a lot less people who yap in there, and the people who are in there are very much interested in actually kind of participating in that thing. And if you don't like it, just leave and cancel. It's not like you have to pay like one time and try to get your whole money back. It's like if it doesn't fit you anymore, you just leave and you come back or whatever. It's like, it's totally up to you. So it's really cool. Boom, just signed up for the Discord. Hey, thanks, man. How's it going, Tommy? Appreciate you. Since Anthropic started advertising against OpenAI, they've been taking hits, of course. It's all coincidence. I think they're just locking down on the use of their product and how it's being sold, right? Because they are giving you a very subsidized rate for $200 for the amount of compute that you get for the access to the model. And to be honest, I think they have a budget for how many tokens they can spit out or how much compute they have for the year. And then they also have to have a budget for what they're going to use to train for the next year. So they're raising all this money because they know they have to keep training models. And it was an interesting interview if you listen to it with Duarkesh and Dario Amodei, and they talk about, if it costs them $1 billion to train and they make 4 billion, they still have to invest 10 billion for the next stage model. So it keeps, growing and growing and growing bigger. So it's not that they aren't making money, it's that they do make money, but in the current iteration, but they also have to budget so long for resources for, there's like serving costs, which is what we're using for Claude Code, but there's also research costs burning all those GPUs. It's an interesting business, and it's not something that I'm like super deep on, but I feel like it was really interesting insight that I learned from it. So that's what's up. I'm sorry, I'm having major anxiety. Yeah, this is definitely a feel right now. And I think we should probably also go over how to set this up with like how to set up fallback providers. So let me just go ahead and pop that in right now before I get even more distracted. But I feel like we should definitely cover some of these things. So if you're interested in setting up like a different provider, OpenClaw does provide this in the documentation. So I'm going to put this right here right now. And so this is the documentation. So this is kind of, if you want to check it out, just go to the OpenClaw official documentation. And in here, they actually have an option on how to set up OpenAI code Codex subscription. So I have a Codex subscription. I recently renewed. I canceled and I renewed again for the $200 a month because on $200 a month, the pro plan, you actually get like the faster thing. You get the Spark. You also get faster compute. You get better everything. Even $20 a month is a great plan for Codex. And so with the Codex subscription, it's pretty simple. All you have to do is run this command line. So for the command line, all you have to do is just copy and paste this into our OpenClaw. And then we should be able to get our OAuth stuff running here. So let me just go ahead and sign on to my Mac Mini. And we're going to get that going here. So this is the actual, if you're wondering how the internals of what this looks like for OpenClaw. So like my Mac Mini is literally right here behind the bush, if you're not able to take a look. So I'm going to just kind of pop this in here. So here's my Mac Mini. And right now, you talked about the anxiety. I think we should have like a fallback provider, or if you want to change your main model provider to OpenAI, I think this is going to be the way to do it. And so the way that it works internally, before we kind of get into that, I'm just going to do a quick breakdown. So there's this file called OpenClaw.json. So this lives in your .openclaw directory. If you have VS Code or Cursor, you can literally just open the .openclaw directory in your home thing. And it's really cool because now you can browse the actual folder, and you can browse your memories. You can browse everything that's going on in your OpenClaw instance right there, which is really, really nice. So one advantage of having this obviously inside of a Mac Mini is that you can do this, but you can also do this if you're have this set up on a VPS. All you have to do is SSH into it. I have my VPS set up where I can't SSH into it. I actually set up this tunnel, and it's a complicated thing, but I'll have to explain that later. But basically what I'm doing is setting up a local tunnel, and then from there I'm able to do like this weird networking loopback thing. So I'm SSHing into something. Yeah. Anyways, Mac Mini is probably the best bet. So this is what I'm doing right now. So for the Mac Mini, what we're going to do is there's a path A, which is getting the OpenAI key. But if you already have a Claude Code plan, they've already said that you can actually use your Codex subscription and they're not going to ban you, which is amazing. So this is probably the best way to do it. So we can just do onboard, Claw, auth choice, OpenAI Codex. And like I said earlier, if you're interested, this is actually right here in the documentation. So we can just select, that one there, copy, and go back here. Choice OpenAI Codex. And so as of now, what you see in this actual configuration file is the model defaults. So our model is going to be primary, and then our fallback is these, whatever we define here. And then these are the current model selections that are currently available for my actual OpenClaw. And so in here, basically, these are going to be the ones we're going to change. And then if we want to run like the OAuth flow in the browser, once authenticated, the model references use OpenAI Codex provider prefix. So we can actually set OpenAI-Codex GPT-5.3 Codex specifically for interacting, or just GPT 5.3, right? And so there are a couple caveats that we want to go ahead and do, but like we'll have to kind of do that. And so what we can do is just launch into a terminal. So I'm going to go ahead and blur my screen really quick because I have no clue what's on my screen, and I don't want to accidentally reveal a key or something that's going to happen here. So let's just see what's going on. So yeah, it's a good thing I didn't do anything here. So I'm going to go hit new window. I got a lot of stuff going on. So, okay. Let's get this over here, and then I'm going to unblur it in a second just to make sure that we're going to be good here. So here, all right, cool. So CD OpenClaw. All right. So give me a moment. Let me make this bigger so everyone can see. Okay. So cool. All right. So if we want to go through the onboarding, all we have to do is then paste in that onboard OpenClaw thing, and this is going to be what we're going to go ahead and do. So, awesome. Okay. So this is what we're going to do there, and I'm going to blur the screen now after I do that command. And that's basically, if you're wondering where that command is, it's going to be in the documentation. And so what this does now is going to show us this thing about OpenClaw. And so with that, we're going to see a security warning. OpenClaw is a hobby project and it's still in beta, obviously. Expect sharp edges. This bot can read files, run actions, and da da da. So if you understand this, this is going to be what we're going to do. So we're going to say yes to that. And it's going to just keep doing this type of thing until I understand what I'm getting into. So there's a quick start onboarding thing. So do I have to do the onboarding auth choice, OpenAI Codex? Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. Okay. So then I'm going to go ahead and do the quick start. And then let's see, there's a config handling here. So it's asking me for the config handling because I already have Anthropic set up. We're going to have to change this. So the config handling, it says use existing values or update values. So we're going to do update values or reset. So if we want to reset these, we can probably reset that as well. But these are the values that are, we don't necessarily need to reset the local mode or anything like that. I'm just going to say update values. So that way, when it comes to model, we're going to select a different model. Let's see. Update values. Okay, so what it does is it punches me back to an actual OAuth screen. And so what I'm seeing right now is basically the login for the actual Codex screen. So OpenAI is asking me to log in. I'm going to go ahead and log into my actual ChatGPT account right now. And there is a one-time password thing that I have to go ahead and do as well. So I have to make sure that that's taken care of. So yeah, please stand by while we take care of some of these things. So yeah, as of now, I'm basically trying to see if I can log into my thing. And so I have a passkey and I have a whole bunch of security behind my ChatGPT account. So I want to make sure that I'm okay. So let's see, ChatGPT. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to paste this in here. Okay, dang. Okay. Talk about crazy security. Okay, so I'm going to put this over here. Paste in my super secret key, I think. I don't think it completed. Okay, I guess that didn't work. I'm going to... Okay, here we go. How much is the version of Codex? Dang. Oh, try another method. Oh. Okay. Google Authenticator? Huh. Let me go back. I probably did the wrong account. Continue with Google? I think I did do the wrong account. Ha. Oh, I think, I don't know, 347. Incorrect code. I don't know. Oh man. Yeah, I need to figure out this thing because I'm basically going to lock my account out and I don't want to do that right now. Okay, so I'm going to quit this real quick. Complete sign in the browser. I'm going to figure that out a little bit later. I can't be doing that right now. And basically, I don't want to expose any keys. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit later. So yes, let's go back here. So what we're talking about is kind of doing the onboarding here. And this onboarding flow for the auth choice is what you would do, and you go through that setup and you would basically modify the flow. And so I think the best thing to do is kind of show you a little bit of what this is. So, or run OAuth directly. So we can do OpenClaw models, auth login provider, OpenAI Codex. So this is probably what we can do instead of the onboarding up here. So this is the OAuth directly. So we would just OAuth ourselves in the browser. And because I'm not logged in correctly, that's going to be what it is. So if we want to configure Codex, we would basically just set the agent defaults to primary this one. And this can be done through /models and stuff. So yeah, let me just see if I can try this one instead, and then see if this makes any difference here. So yeah, this is what it is. And so let me go ahead and see if I can blur the screen again. Okay, let's see. Give your OpenClaw free Cloudflare something. Yeah, I don't know. So let's see. Error, no provider plugins found. Install one via OpenClaw plugins install. Okay, that's interesting. OpenClaw provider, OpenClaw? No provider plugins found. Okay, so I think we could just configure it here. So I'm gonna go and show you real quick the error. So this is the error I got. And so what I'm just gonna do is I'm just gonna use a cursor agent saying I got this error and then boom. And it's kind of funny, I'll just send this across here. So it's gonna read my file and figure out what's going on. Give your CloudBot a free Cloudflare tunnel and establish a free subdomain. I don't think so because I have Tailscale, so I don't really need to do that. And Tailscale's free. My favorite streamer's online. Hey, what's going on, man? What's up? Americans, Europeans are so rich. I don't understand what that means. How much is this version of Codex? So Codex is 20 bucks a month, and then it's free as well, but you can use the 20 bucks a month plan. You'll get a lot of credits. If you need to upgrade to 200 bucks a month, you'll get like a bunch more features and stuff. So that'd be easier to do. Ray provides context. Oh man, OpenClaw is engineered, prompt injection, not much else. Substantially reduces market integration friction. So I think you're pointing at some of the flaws, which is very valid, but also at the same time, like if you've actually spoke with Pete, I think my iPad died. Okay. Oh, I forgot. Oh, my iPad panicked. Okay. Sorry, I gotta plug in my iPad. This thing's completely dead. Wasn't expecting it to die out. Okay. So, let's talk a little bit about that for a sec. I'm gonna wait for my iPad to power up because it just died. Basically, it's not engineered for prompt injection specifically. It's a playground. Like anything is, like there's agents have playgrounds and stuff like that. And so I think when you're saying this is extremely misleading because you only wrote it in a couple of lines. And I think, just pushing the fear out without actually substantiating anything. I think it's, first of all, you don't even have like a profile name, and like your name is number, whatever your name is for here. So like, I think it's just really weird that you're all up in here just trying to push this type of narrative. OpenClaw, for the people who are playing around with it, it's a very risky thing. And it even tells you when you're actually loading this type of stuff up when you're doing the onboarding, right? It's rough around the edges. It's a playground. And so like, I think you have to understand we're engineers here. We're playing around. I'm playing around with it as an engineer. I'm trying to discover what this type of thing is. And so people have different risk tolerances for what they're doing. And so they're trying to understand how they can use this for business, because at the end of the day, you can use the Claude Agent SDK and do the same type of thing. And part of what made OpenClaw really amazing was the fact that it has all these different plugins that can plug in and enhance your life. And so someone spent a lot of time to build this, and the whole community came around this to build something open source. And so for you to kind of throw this out under the bus and just say, hey, it's just what is prompt injection, it's vibe code, it's a mess, it's actually disrespectful, and it's not really giving it the respect that it needs. And to come in here to even shout like that is actually really disrespectful too. So that type of stuff is not really toterated here, and this is not something that we even want to spend our time kind of like debating / wasting our time. So yeah, thanks for coming into the chat, but like totally not cool, man. So I'll see you later. Believe the hype, OpenClaw has changed my game. Yeah, for sure. Hey, how's it going, man? Savage Boost. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I'm just basically trying to power on my iPad because it died. And let me see if I can get this thing powered back on, because my stuff died and we're trying to get back on the stream. So what we're doing was we're trying to basically change our actual model to use the OpenAI Codex. And so what ended up happening for me is that I have my OpenAI account like super locked down behind all these secret keys and authentication methods. So I have to do like this funny dance to get my stuff like logged in, and I'm not going to be able to do that on the stream. But I also had my actual display streaming here, so I want to make sure that I get my display stuff going on. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on here, so I just want to make sure that that stuff's taken care of. All right, cool. So yeah, this is my cool setup here in Hawaii. I appreciate everyone kind of hanging out for a second while I got some of these technical difficulties set up. So let me just make sure that my monitor stuff is going on, and that way we'll have the proper screen share here. So let's go ahead and add the iPad. So things are going to blink for a second. Hopefully everything's good. Arrange. Okay, perfect. Now we got our sidecar optimizations. Okay, cool. Now we're back in the game, and we should be back up here too. Okay, cool. Yay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, so what we were looking at was when we try to do this specific command to authenticate with OpenAI Codex, when this detects your config, keep or modify, do not pick reset. Okay. It will wipe your whole config. This will open the OAuth flow in your browser and authenticate. So what I was doing earlier was probably the right way. It's just the fact that I was trying to do it a different way. It wasn't probably the right way to do it. So, so we would onboard and we would check this choice. If you'd rather go the API route, you can use this one. Okay, cool. That makes sense. So yeah, model status probe. So models open set OpenAI Codex. Okay, so once I log in, I should be able to do this thing called model set, and then that will be able to set the stuff up. So your Wi-Fi. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So yeah, that's pretty much the config file there. And then we were taking a look at how to basically do that. So for Codex, all you have to do is just go to the documentation here and then run OpenClaw models auth login or OpenClaw onboard, and then just go through the setup there. And then you're going to log into your basically your Codex account and be able to sign in and select the model there. And so we're trying to figure out like what this actually meant for those who are kind of tuning in earlier. Oh, hey, Andrea, how's it going? Mucho gusto. This reminds me, I need to repost my stream on X, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. The problem right now with X is basically that they don't allow you to, like once I start streaming, it doesn't actually automatically post my stream live. And so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So anyone who reposts, you guys are like the real MVPs right now. And so this is my live stream, and I actually have to do like an actual post. So let's go ahead and see OpenClaw plus Anthropic WeBand. Okay, let me post. Cool. So now my account down here officially has the live stream, so that way more people can see it. Because as of now, not a lot of people are able to see it, and so that way we miss out on some folks. So yeah. All right, cool. So now we're out here, and let's see if I'm able to log in. I'm gonna go ahead and log in here to get this set up there. So that'll be that guy. And so I'm gonna go ahead and blur the screen a little bit just to make sure I get my thing set up, because I was trying to explain a little bit earlier like what this really means for us, and kind of like if you use OpenClaw for yourself, theoretically you're not banned, but it's not really entirely clear. And what you can't use OpenClaw and like maybe have it as a bot to give to someone else as a service. So for example, like if you have your OpenClaw and you're trying to sell it as a service, that's probably bannable offense, because there's a lot of activity that's happening that's not necessarily tied to you as a developer, and you're using your setup token in a way that's not intended for you as a developer who's developing a product, but you're using it in a way that's going to be, that's the other people are actually using it on your behalf. So that's really weird. My app is not loading. Okay. Okay, so my thing is not loading. Okay, whatever. I think that's just is what it is. All right, we're back here. Okay, so yeah, as far as OAuth token, if you're using a token obtained through like the Claude account, it's not permitted and constitutes a violation. And so I think what I'm going to go ahead and do here is going to see if I can use Anthropic to help me with this. Hey, how's it going, Joe? Super chat. Hello, G-Unit Life. Zero Claw and Pico Claw is the game. One love. I think that's a really cool project, and I really like it too. But I think the other part of it are the plugins. Like, how can you port the plugins? Are they still compatible? So we'll take a look. So do Claude.ai. And I'm going to ask us some questions right now. I'm going to go here. Reference. Thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. Awesome. So let's just do some prompting right now and figure out the situation. Okay. I'm using the product called OpenClaw, and I'm just trying to run it for myself. And I like using it through the way that I'm using it, and I have it set up. And currently, I have a setup token, so I basically just generate the setup token and put it into OpenClaw, and I'm able to use it for myself and do whatever I want. And I'm really confused by the latest terms and legal compliance for this use case, and this is specifically called out. So I wanted to have you see if you can review this documentation and use EXA as well as ref tools or any types of things to help us understand what is actually said there, what makes sense from a use case. And I want you to ask me some more questions so that you can get further clarification to see what is allowed and what's not allowed. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask the Claude. Use Gemini 3 Pro. Nah, I'm good, bro. Not worth analyzing that docs. Thariq said it's already wrong due to the docs cleanup. So no sense in analyzing the exact verbiage. So what does that mean? It's already wrong due to a docs cleanup. So like that's kind of if there's multiple negatives between what he is saying and what the docs are saying. So they're all canceling each other out, which is causing more confusion to me, to be honest. So if you can help me clarify here or help us clarify, that'd be really cool. Does this mean something like conductor violates the terms of service? It's a business, right? Well, so the part that what we needed clarity on is that if you are a person who offers a third party login, so like if you're punching out to Claude.ai or you route requests through these credentials on behalf of other users, then technically yes, right? So if they're saying, hey, you can use our app or you can use a third party, like you can use Claude, but just in order for you to use Claude, you have to hit this button to log in, or you have to like I'm changing the way that I'm routing my requests so that you can use your Claude subscription. Then technically, you're actually violating the terms of service. So these details actually matter, and this is kind of what I'm trying to figure out here, right? So like these like are very like nuanced, technical, legal like intricacies that bro, since when does it start asking me questions like this, bro? Wait, I didn't know that Claude does this now, bro. On the web? Low key, I feel like I'm getting pressed right now. It's like it's interrogating me. You saw this live, right? We're watching this live on stream, getting interrogated, and I think our account might get canceled in real time. Oh my god, bro. I can't, bro. I can't. Should I Yo, chat, I don't know if I could do this right now. So are we about to get canceled in real time? Is Anthropic literally just legally asking me through its own app on Claude AI about like, hey bro, so what do you tell us more about your use case? Let me just document everything here so that legally speaking, we have you're volunteering this information so that we can or can't use it against you in the court of law. Bro, like I didn't know that their UI just pops this stuff up. Like, what subscription are you on, bro? Like, let me ask you some questions. Should I do it? I mean, should I just raw dog it and we're just gonna get banned in real life? Like, you know what I mean? They're outside, bro. They're outside, bro. They made it. They flew to Hawaii. They're here right now, bro. They're watching me, bro. They're watching me. Oh man, everyone's scattered. They're onto this, bro. Click it, man. See what happens, bro. I don't know, bro. Like, am I like I don't know if you know how the American law works. It's like anything you say can and will be used against you in the court of law. You know what I'm saying? Like I know my rights, but do I give them up? You know what I mean? Like, am I about to get arrested? You know? Right? I mean, bro, look at this. Like when have you talked to Claude AI on the web and it presses you like this? When is the last time you had it literally ask you what subscription are you on, bro? It knows what subscription I'm on. I'm talking to them, but it's asking me to volunteer this information. There's a difference, bro. I've not been to law school. I've not talked to a lot of lawyers, but I'm street smart. Oh, this is bad, bro. I don't know. Hey, Hey, yo, what's happening, bro? Okay, if you want to know what's happening right now, we like low key or might be able to get banned live in real time for literally trying to figure out if we're even allowed to use OpenClaw. And so I went into Anthropic's own system to get some clarification because as a person who wants to educate themselves and really try to understand this for my own self, and really like if this should not be taken as any legal advice. This is literally for entertainment purposes. You're going to literally watch a clown like me go through OpenAI and probably willingly give up his information and literally probably get banned in real time while we're watching this live from Anthropic themselves. I don't know if I could do this right now. I don't know if I could do. My reputation is on the line, bro. Oh, okay, Brian Smith, bro. Like, I think you're onto something. Thank you so much for the super chat. You said you should sign out and ask the question, bro. I don't know if you know this, bro, but they already got my identity, bro. Like, they already have the fingerprint of my browser, of like my whole machine and everything, IP address, all that stuff. Like, signing out will only just. It's not a good look when they do the audit trail. I'm already on the live stream, bro. This is kind of crazy. Yeah, I mean, like, who? When is the last time you had Anthropic ask you these questions? Like they know what plan I'm on. I'm asking them using their platform. They're asking me to volunteer this information back at them legally. Like they have it on paper. They're like, he clicked this. He made the intent to click this specific thing. Like these lawyers, they're smart. Damn. Just move to another country, bro. Nah, I'm good, bro. So like let's just kind of let me cook myself. Okay, I don't know how many users we got up in here. We have 431. We only got 28 likes in the chat. If I need to get at least 100 likes to at least go through this. I'm not trying to commit suicide right now. I'm not trying to like hurry, whatever. Yeah. Let's see. Let me dig through this. Yeah. When I see some more likes in the chat, I'm gonna definitely we'll walk through this. All right. So let me just get in the honey trap, bro. Come get in the honey trap. I'm good, bro. I got you. I can't right now. Oh my god. Ask ChatGPT. Actually, I think I will, bro. I think I will right now. I think this is getting a little too risky right now. Hey, okay. So I'm gonna do the same exact prompt because I have the same MCP set up too. This is too risky right now, but I can't risk this for the biscuit. All right. So this is what we got. Let's go. We're gonna do heavy thinking on this one because we got to go heavy, and then we got to do. Yeah. Okay. Sheesh, bro. Oh man, I can't be doing that, bro. I can't be. Yeah, we need more likes in the chat. This is. I can't be doing this. If you cook yourself, you'll get cooked by the guys. Summon the AI console. Get to debate this. Grok. Yeah, I think I might put this in cursor, right? Like that. Actually, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go somewhere else. I'm gonna put this in Droid. That way, I don't really cook myself, right? Like, sheesh. Okay, so browsing documentation. All right, so it appears that OpenAI now allows OAuth for OpenClaw. I've been using Gemini 2.5 as the cheapest. Yeah, definitely ChatGPT is like cool like that, you know? OpenClaw, OpenCode, and Rue is to blame for Anthropic in doing this. I don't think anyone's to blame. You got to blame the company who's actually being like really kind of crazy about this, right? Like they have to protect their own like interests, and you know, it's really clear who has your interests for you, right? Like, and this is why, like, I'm not trying to spread fear or misinformation. I'm trying to get clarity because words matter, especially to lawyers. And like they specifically write these things in a very specific way. And there's a reason why these people aren't on a live stream just trying to clarify it to people and saying outright, you know, you could use it for these use cases because it's very complicated. It's very nuanced. There's a lot of stuff, and I can't take it. These people are just. I'm about to get cooked, bro. I'm about to cook myself on the stream. So yeah, what's your take on Sonnet 4.5? Let me get to that in a bit because I want to. Yeah, I might cook myself on stream, but like I need to get this answer back. ChatGPT. We'll see what's up. I got the pro plan. Do you think Anthropic is coming out with their own version of OpenClaw? I mean, they have to, or do something to make their agentic use case. I don't know. Like, I feel like TBD, right? I understand why Anthropic is doing this, but I also don't think it makes sense. Doesn't look good. I agree. It's not a good look. Yeah. My gosh. Yeah, I'm getting pressed right now on on Anthropic thing. I guess I figured I needed Opus 4.6 to do a cron. What's your take on Sonnet 4.6 so far? Not thoroughly impressed with it. I still need I need some more playtime with it. Can I build an AI assistant for small service companies that generates? Yeah, you can do whatever you want with AI assistants, but you just got to throw an API key on that, and then you're gonna be good. You're gonna be in good graces. They need to rewrite their ToS. I agree. Yeah, tell us what's allowed to do. All right, cool. All right, so this is what we got here. There are two auth modes, OAuth tokens and API keys. So the OAuth tokens are only meant for Claude Code and Claude Code.ai. So that's exactly what we read. So OAuth tokens in any other product tool is not permitted, and they explicitly say it violates the terms. If you're using using something that interacts with Claude's capabilities outside of Claude Code or AI, the intended path is the we haven't updated your okay, this is cool. That'll be later. So if you're building something or using something that interacts with Claude's capabilities outside of Claude Code / Claude.ai, the intended path is the API key via Claude console or a supported cloud provider. They also say third parties may not offer Claude AI login or route requests through the Pro or Max credentials. They also warn that they can enforce this without notice. So they can just say, boom, you're gone. Separately, customer terms include a broad no bots scripts style clause. Unless you're accessing via an Anthropic API key or they explicitly allow it, you may not access services via an automated or non-human means, so like a bot or a script. So you can't have a script that goes in and grabs and like clicks buttons and gets the key for you and puts it in somewhere else. So how that maps to your OpenClaw setup token. So this is the part that we're really trying to figure out here. And I was not trying to cook myself on the stream because I didn't get enough likes. I didn't get enough likes. I'm not trying to answer that question for Anthropic and get myself burned. They're probably gonna burn me anyways, but whatever. Anthropic's Claw, OpenClaw's Anthropic stocks literally describe using your Claude subscription by generating a setup token via Claude setup token and pasting it into OpenClaw. Okay. So Anthropic's own repo docs make it explicit what that token is. It's the OAuth token and is an OAuth token, and Pro Max users can generate it by running the Claude setup token. So if you're using the Claude subscription and you run Claude setup token and you paste the OpenClaw, then you're effectively using Claude's code's OAuth token inside a third-party tool, aka OpenClaw. That is exact thing that Claude Code Legal page says is not permitted. Even if it's just for you, the wording still, any other product, tool, or service with no personal use exception. Does this make any sense? Are y'all picking up a word? What clearly allowed versus not allowed. So clearly allowed is your Claude free Pro Max login in Claude AI or Claude Code. That's what OAuth is for. So like, yeah, if you use it in the web apps, you can do that. It's fine. Use OpenClaw in an Anthropic API key. OpenClaw even documents this as option A, or use an API key based off a Claude console supported by the cloud provider. So not allowed per the text. So you can't use, so like what's not allowed is use the OAuth tokens, including the setup tokens inside of OpenClaw or other third-party clients. So this means that even Conductor and some of those other apps, probably even OpenCode is low-key cooked, right? Or offer a login via Claude AI in a third-party product or route requests through subscription credentials on behalf of other users. So run the consumer service through bots and scripts unless you're doing it via Anthropic API key. So from clarification, only Claude Agent SDK and Claude-P is fine for personal use. Both still need an API key if business. Bottom line, not allowed in OpenClaw. Oh, bro. Yeah, I mean, that's... yeah. You can use an API key for sure. Bottom line, their wording will allow them block everyone anytime for any reasons. Damn, I know why not remove it. I know that, but why not remove OAuth? Yeah, that's exactly what you have to do. But that was the thing that wasn't really clear, Stephen. Like it wasn't very clear from all the different interactions because it was like, how do you derive the key? Who is the person who's a third party? Is it me? Is it the app? You know, how is that being used? Yeah, but I already said open code root client are all cooked. Yeah, man. Like for real, for real. Sheesh, bro. Yeah, when since it's third-party app is not allowed, sucks because Gemini subs same rules. Yeah. In short, you need to get called out. You need to call out the money if you want to play. Yeah, you basically have to do that. If they ban us, it'll be bad business decision. Yeah, this basically makes hiring for someone for $30 to $40 an hour, 24/7. Pretty much, yeah. They killed Conductor before they even had a chance to get users yet. Is X down? I don't know yet. So anything made by Anthropic. I'm running OpenClaw plus my Codex account, and it's working amazing. That's exactly it. Of course, it's not Opus, but I'm happy with the results until now. So I never hit limits with even with heavy usage. So yeah, like get the $200 a month. Y'all know it's going to OpenAI. We're about to sell a lot of OpenAI subscriptions in this chat. Yo, OpenAI, you gotta send us a bag. Seems like you can write code of your own accesses. Yeah, that's what's up, man. Run the consumer service through bots. Okay. The practical do this instead option. Switch OpenClaw to Anthropic's OpenAI API key. Keep using your subscription, but inside of Claude Code. If you love the workflow of agentic coding, if you really want subscription style access through a tool, the only clean answer is get an explicit OK from Anthropic. They literally say contact sales for permitted auth methods for your use case. You know what they're going to say OK to? If you have a $10 million enterprise contract, you can be like, hey, my employees are using this for this purpose, so we're going to cancel our $10 million contract or whatever, and then be like, oh, hold. Or if you have like a $40 million contract with them, you bought all these tokens from them, you're like, we're out of here, bro. And then they're gonna be like, okay, no, hold on. But you and me, nah. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna let you do that. Come on, bro. So that's the only thing. They're like, yo, if you pay us a bag, we'll let you use it all you want. Just burn all the tokens you want. Damn, bro, that's weak. Damn, this is why it's painful. I'm telling you, OpenAI does the prompt processing better than Anthropic. I got $200 max, but I still use all my data. Any tips on less tokens? So if you basically do that, you basically have to do some type of. There's a couple different ways that are going on. So as far as like using less tokens, depending on your use cases, a lot of people launch like parallel agents and do these different types of things. And you may want to just start small, plan, and try to get a good sense of what's happening in your code base. And then you can be a little bit more direct. So you can save a lot of tokens because you're not having to do a lot of searches and tokens for queries and things. So that's probably your best bet. I've never hit the limits with Codex. Yeah. Damn. If you still have a plan, you can use Claude Code. Yeah. Okay, so then what else are they saying here? Are you using interactive typing your prompts or automated loops? Is anyone else using OpenClaw instance, even a friend or truly you? What's the main reason you prefer OpenClaw over Claude Code? Snap. Okay, so this was I'm not gonna go up in here and just like violate myself because I really don't feel like I should be answering these questions on Claude's platforms, which can and use this information against me to ban my account. Because they literally have documentation, even though they have this information about me specifically about what plan I'm on. Like they're asking me like to volunteer this information. I'm not trying to do that, bro. The timeline matters. Okay, what policy actually says? So the documentation you reference is very clear on this. OAuth tokens obtained through Claude Free Pro are exclusively for Claude Code and Claude.ai. Yeah. The setup token you're generating is essentially a serialized form of subscription credential. When you paste that into OpenClaw, you're routing your Pro Max traffic through third-party harness. Which is exactly the pattern Anthropic has been cracking down on since January 2026. People have actually been banned for this. Bans were later lifted, but the policy was made explicit. But this is just for me. I like that, but this is just for me question. Like it's trying to convince me to give me this information. This is where I think your mental model might be hitting the wall. And it's fair place to push the policy doesn't distinguish between I'm running it for myself and I'm running it for others. The restriction is on the tool and not the user count. So yeah, the tool. This is the bigger part here. Even personal single user of your subscription token is non-Anthropic tool. It appears to violate the terms. So that's basically the TLDR of this whole thing. So yeah, I'm not going to answer these questions because I've seen this part of the hood. Okay, so I think the best bet is to just basically go to this documentation here for the docs.openai providers and stuff, and set yourself up an OpenAI account if you haven't had a chance to. It's really amazing. For free for 20 bucks a month or even for 200 bucks a month. Just set up the Codex OAuth, go through this onboarding here, and you're going to be set. Yeah, that's it. I mean, I feel like that's kind of it. Like, so, yeah, okay. Damn, son. Damn. I yeah. The other option, if you really want to use it, is to set up the API key from the console. But yeah, I'm on the list now, bro. Yeah, I can't be doing that, bro. Like, I'm gonna get banned. I'm permabanned, bro. Like, I'm gonna remove that account and I'm gonna authenticate using the OpenAI OpenClaw thing because why 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 violate the law? Because I am a law-abiding citizen. I respect the laws, and have done some research and I've used everything I possibly can to educate myself on the situation. And now that I am an educated person, I am going to do the right thing and make sure I don't violate the laws and services. And yeah, you can't implicate yourself if you're asking for a translation. Yeah, but like you have to be mindful that anything you can say or do say will be used against you in the court of law. So people may think that you have an intention, even though that's not necessarily true. And anyone who's been on this stream long enough, who knows me long enough, can definitely attest for my character because, this is not entertainment. This is literally just me trying to entertain myself, trying to figure out how I can figure out how to get out of this conundrum. Oh man, this is so fun. Why is that threat shoot? I have no clue, bro. I switched 5.3 Codex. Yeah, that's what's up. Okay, so yeah, I'm not touching this question with the 10-foot pole there. No, I'm good. You see, ChatGPT came through. Asked the same question, it came through. It is not trying to implicate me or do anything crazy. It's like, bro, if you're trying to do this, you got to stop, bro. You just got to pull out. You can't be doing that. Okay, so now we got that question answered. Okay, so this was the original thing. This is Tariq trying to clear it up. We want to encourage local development and experimentation with the Agent SDK and Claude-P. If you're building a business on top of Agent SDK, you should use an API key instead. We'll make sure to clear it in our docs. And then there's tons of people who are like, what the heck? I think it'd be super helpful if this kind of wording would find its way to legalese as it stands. It's not clear on the Agent SDK plus OAuth for local development and personal use is allowed. It currently implies the opposite even in the generous reading. The only thing that's clear is that building a business on top of Agent SDK requires an API key. Duh, right? It's possible to get it in that legal Agent SDK is okay for Max Pro subscription and local. And if you're talking about building a business, what about open source project users installing free, use their own OAuth? This is exactly what he's asking, which is basically what is happening in OpenClaw, right? So, I mean, according to the latest documentation that we see up there as of, 12 o'clock here Hawaii time, that's not the case. So yeah, this is, a lot of people have questions. Okay, so the business should use an API key or end users should bring their own. Thanks for the help. You can do either one. Oh, like as a user or as a business. Okay. Yo, thanks for the super chat, man. OpenAI is making a physical device with the person who legit helped make Apple now they have a creator of OpenClaw, and this is a checkmate. OpenAI will sit on the Iron Throne for now, bro. You got Johnny Ive, you got Pete Steinberger. They're gonna have some amazing conversations. I'd love to sit in a room and watch Johnny talk to Pete Steinberger and meet them for the first time and just have this interaction, right? So if you haven't followed along, I got to meet Johnny Ive. I mean, I've met him a whole bunch of times, but at the OpenAI Dev Day, I have the perfect meme. If you're, this is the meme right now. I think this is what's gonna happen. This is literally the meme. Me with my claw hands trying to explain it to Johnny. So there's this thing called OpenClaw. This lobster is gonna change the world, and he's like, bro. That's why I want a recording of this. I want this podcast where Johnny Ive is literally talking to Pete for the first time, and it's literally gonna be like. Oh, so good. Anthropic's giving open, bro. The crazy part is if you invoke their Agent SDK and you have Claude Code installed and authenticated, it just works. Wait, so WebDev Cody, because for those who don't know, definitely follow WebDev Cody. He built his own agent using the Agent SDK and his project planner, and then he's through that project. I think I made one contribution or fixed the bug or something, but that was my attempts of playing around with these types of SDKs to try to figure out agents and kind of letting them do things. And in your experience, this is the crazy. If you invoke their agent SDK and have Claude Code installed and authenticated, it just works. So you don't even have to, like, all I have to do is set up Claude Code inside of my terminal. And as soon as I get Claude Code running, then I make an app that uses the agent SDK. As long as the agent SDK is running inside of my home machine, then I'm pretty much good. That is actually really cool. So what you're saying is if I make a patch, if I clone this repo for educational purposes, because I'm playing around with the agent SDK, and all I do is just patch it to use the agent SDK instead of using the Claude Code auth method, without even touching anything, everything is just going to work right out the box? Are you for real? Oh man, this is crazy. Yeah, that's basically it. Codex is the same. Yeah, that's yeah, that's why the new language is a slap in the face. The default was breaking terms of service as it was written, but then it was backtraced. I can't stand it with these guys. I don't know. I mentioned OpenAI and I'm blacklisting for sure. Yeah. Those last 30 days use API credits doesn't seem to be spending my OpenAI credits. I haven't tried last 30 days. I was going to make my own because I don't necessarily need 30 days. Anthropic is butthurt because Peter is joining the OpenAI. I don't know, man. Yeah, it'd be good to get them both join up in here. Yeah, that'd be so fire if we get that to happen. So yeah, we need. I don't know if I need more digging into this, but yeah. So this is how you set up your CLI codex. Really simple. Go to the docs, OpenClaw onboard, auth choice, OpenAI codex, and cook. That's it. Sign into your thing, your ChatGPT Pro subscription, and then you're gonna be set. And then the way you verify it is by going to your thing here. In this guy, you'll see your actual primary model change from Anthropic to Claude's thing. And if you want, you could just delete this and just go through the setup again, and then set the model for OpenAI Codex 5-3 or just GPT 5.2 or whatever, and just have a conversation with it and kind of play around with the model. So that'd be kind of your best bet there, is kind of what I'm thinking. And then once you're doing that, you just do a OpenClaw gateway restart, and then your gateways will restart. And if you want to make sure before you do any chats, just do OpenClaw model status probe. And so that'll basically check whatever model you have, is your API key valid, and is it going to do its thing? And that's going to be kind of that there. So damn, that's weak sauce, bro. That's so weak. That's so weak. Yes, using your Mac subscription with OpenClaw for local development is perfectly safe and allowed. You're using it for legitimate development work on your own PC, which aligns with our terms. Okay, who is our terms, and are you really from like Anthropic, bro? One Brady? Can you reveal yourself? Who is One Brady? Like, I don't. What is your YouTube account? X? What's your X handle, bro? Drop your X handle. We gotta verify. You know, I don't know who this One Brady character is. One Brady, right? That's fake news. Yeah, yeah. Wait, who is One Brady? Yeah, I don't know. Yep, probably fake news. I think he copy and pasted from Claude. Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I think, or like a bunk model and stuff. Also, if you haven't had a chance to check out my boy Rudronk, if you're shipping an iOS app, this guy made like a CLI that will make the whole thing complicated. Like, I think if you ever make an app to ship it to the App Store, the hardest part is actually now the App Store Connect part. And so now you can actually just hand this off to an agent, and he basically did this. But what's crazy is that there's like 1,000+ official APIs for that whole thing. And there's, I think, literally a company that made this like over a decade ago or something, and Google acquired them, or some other companies acquired them, and they haven't really kept it up to date for the modern like agentic workflow. So it was written, I think, with a bunch of Ruby gems. And so Rudronk basically wrote this in Rust. And not only is it fast, but it works really, really well. And a lot of people have actually shipped apps to the App Store. So you haven't had a chance, App Store Connect CLI. This is probably your best bet to, export to the App Store, like in the most automated fashion. It's actually starting to blow up. So you're going to get this before it gets to like 2K stars and all that. I think this will be like the next like 20K star repo because of how much work has been put into this. Yes, a lot of apps have done this. This is not an ad. This is my buddy Rudronk, and he's amazing. I posted this on X. But you should definitely know about this if you're going to be messing around with iOS apps and trying to ship them to the App Store. This is probably the best way to do it through this command line interface. And he's still building out. It's still like coming into 1.0, but he's already insanely cooked. And he ships a lot of apps and does a lot of iOS coding. So yeah, make sure you check out the GitHub. It's called App Store Connect CLI. Hopefully Apple doesn't get down on him for using the App Store name or App Store Connect, but it's a CLI. He made it, and absolutely destroying it right now. Absolutely destroying it. So clients, terms of services. Okay. So yeah, that's Root Drunk. Let's see what else is going on in Twitterville. I can't right now with all the different crazy tweets right now. There's so much stuff going on. So the OpenClaw, oh, that's me right now. Okay, so free pick audio. Oh, nice. I just saw it features. Okay, yeah, this is crazy. So this was the article that got everything. It would be a great time for Salmon to step in and let us. So yeah, they already allow OpenAI. OpenAI already allows you to use your developer account. So yeah, this is what he was freaking out about. Okay, cool. I don't know. I finally put SpeakMCP in the store. Whoa, wait, hold on. Let's see, AJ. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. It's so cool to hang out with everyone. Do you have it a post? Please post it so I can repost it, tech friend. Yeah, let me know. Let's see. Yeah, I want to see your thing because I want to see your SpeakMCP. Is it SpeakMCP? Oh, in bio. Ooh, wow. Gotta do a follow for this one. Agent loops now in main. Whoa. So, but wait, I'm finalizing the latest. Okay. I'll wait. But everyone's already gonna download it right now. So SpeakMCP. I'm gonna put this in chat. Sus. I don't think it's sus, bro. I think it's awesome. Okay. Is there a way to scout what's trending on TikTok with OpenClaw? I think you can. I don't know what mechanism you would use, but you'd probably want to do some research. Bro, this is fire, bro. Is this SpeakMCP? That's nice. Okay. Wow. Oh man, you totally cooked. This is amazing. So what do you just start to yap at it and the agent basically, it's like a dashboard for your agents, huh? Hey man, this is clean. Whoa. So you can see your agent sessions. Bro, this is fire, bro. Why does your face look like it's AI generated? Yeah, if you want to try, go to releases. It's the same as the base NVIDIA app. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. It looks so clean. So, oh, you use Grok and Kimmy. Okay. And then this is pretty fire. Let's see. The issue on GitHub issues interface can be really great for kicking off GitHub actions and spawning AI coding agents. Let me see if I can get the volume up. Is the volume on this thing?
Issue that has a splash screen that says hello to the internet.
Write some example requirements in the description.
And now we have Kimmy 2, which should be super fast. Boom, that was it, unedited. I couldn't even finish my sentence. And we even have a link there, but I think that's not the right link. I'll refresh this. 14 issues, here we go. Splash screen with hello to the internet. And look at the example requirements and acceptance criteria. That took less than 10 seconds round trip from idea to delegation. I think this is so cool and exciting. I only have 21 stars, but 47 reports. Yeah,
Yo, we gotta start this.
Let's contribute. Let's collaborate. This could be amazing. A new pain point.
Oh, there's an echo. My bad.
In the AI agents, and that is delegating the work. Right now, most interfaces for AI agents have their own app that you have to switch out of what you're currently working on, go into theirs, type what you want to get accomplished, and switch back to whatever you were doing before. This context juggling in humans is so damaging for deep work.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. I had the browser, like I had the speaker going and it was going to my microphone and it was echoing out, so that I got to fix that. So yeah, okay, let's go ahead and check out this. Everyone, we have to star this MCP thing. It's already started, 132. This needs way more stars. So what's this SpeakMCP value prop? Basically spawn agents anytime you want just by speaking into it. So you basically just tell an agent to do whatever you want to do, and that's the value prop. You start with a voice, so you can start with text, but you could just speak, and then agents will spawn to do whatever you want. So you can basically run, I don't know if it runs agent ACK under the hood, but this is like an interface to kind of keep track of it all. It's super clean, like super duper clean as far as like the UI and stuff, and you can keep track of the sessions. And I imagine you could just keep track of this anywhere else, but there's a Mac app, and there's also a PC app or a Linux app as well. And you can use the voice, text-to-speech, the observability. It has MCP tool calling, and the platform is Windows, okay, and Windows and Mac. You can use these API providers, and yeah, it's an MCP. So yeah, basically agent orchestration and delegation. Okay, yeah, a lot of overlap with OpenClaw, to be honest. Okay, this is cool, really, really cool. Gotta download this and releases. So the latest is 2 days ago, but you said there's a new release coming in, so I'm gonna wait for that. That's wild. And then the ACP integration to use Claude Coder Codex agent as the main agent or sub-agents. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it's fire. Yeah. Okay, cool. So wait, we can just use Codex instead of Opus via the same subscription? Yeah. So you can use Codex, and the Codex team or the folks on Twitter who talk about that said that you can use that instead, and you're perfectly fine. You're not going to get banned on OpenAI's platform. So there you go. You can just basically, and to do that, all you have to do is just go to the setup here in the setup docs. I'm going to put this right here in the chat, and we'll do that here, so that way you can kind of chill out. Cool. And so that's the way you would do it. So the OpenClaw setup, just run this command here in your command line, and then switch it over. And then once you're done, just do that reset. So there's a gateway reset that you would want to do. And let me put this right here. So it's OpenClaw gateway restart. Once you get that all configured and everything, and it will just get that running. And so then you'll see your actual defaults change from primary to the open thing. And if it's not, then you would just remove these and just put the OpenAI model, which is the OpenAI/Codex GPT-5.3 Codex. And then you're pretty much set to go. And everything going forward should be legit from there. So yeah, and if you want, you could just pop it into your own, like Codex subscription, point it to the .openclaw folder, and then just say, hey, this is kind of, well, I want to switch everything over to Codex, and it'll actually probably do it for you without this command line flow. But this is already built into itself, so it could do that for you. So yeah, that's this guy here. Also, if you guys want to check out, I have a Discord, so check out the Discord. It's like Ray Discord link. Oops. Oh, did that come across correctly? Yeah. So if you check out the Discord, you can be able to join there. And what I do is I'm actually have a bunch of skills and things that I've started to release. And so recently, I'm going to show you real quick, see if I can pull this out. Because I'm doing a lot of OpenClaw stuff recently. And this is like the OpenClaw Discord. Or like this is my own Discord, but one of the things I talk about a lot is OpenClaw. So we were at ClawCon as well, and big shout outs to a big shout out to AJ, and a big shout out to my brother and a bunch of other folks, because I was actually able to interview Pete Steinberger, which was really cool. Got to see him live and stuff like that. He kind of came into the live stream, and if you haven't had a chance, I do have a Claude call live stream, and so we have a bunch of folks who actually pulled up, and this is probably before he did his interview with the OpenAI folks, because he had this like that clean shirt on. So yeah, that's kind of how it went down. It was really, really cool. But in here, in OpenClaw itself, I have a bunch of pin stuff. So in my pin things, there's this skill that we were talking about the other day called the rhetorical analyzer. And this will basically analyze articles and things for you. So if you're trying to figure out a way to understand kind of what's been happening with, your articles and what logical fallacies and different things are going on. We did some like article analysis before, and it's super helpful. And some of the other things I have in here in OpenClaw here in the actual, let's see, some of the other resources that I have are some other stuff that I'm working on. I also have an Exa skill. So in my Exa skill, I have these scripts that are set up that will basically do search for you. So I don't use Brave, I use Exa. And then I take advantage of Exa instance and also the Exa code stuff so that you can go ahead and do that as well. And like everything Exa, I love their API. It's super like affordable, but also extremely fast and very reliable for me. Another one I've been doing is called the OpenClaw Memory Optimizer. This is a pretty fire skill if you haven't had a chance to. So with this skill here, basically what I set up is a way to optimize memories. And what ends up happening, most people don't realize, is that you eat up a lot of tokens if you start to use up a lot of like the memory feature. So what ends up happening is your agent's MD file tends to bloat. And so I basically made a script that would check it every night as part of a dream state. So while it dreams at night, it will pick up this script and start to analyze all your different memory files, like, and the ones that contribute to a lot of bloat. Every time you do a request, what ends up happening is your agents, your memory, your bootstrap, your soul, your tools, all of these get their context injected into things. So sometimes it can get really, really large, and it's possible that they may need to be pruned. So you can take a look at the script and do that thing. But in this skill here, I actually define, and this is still V1, and I'm just getting feedback from my Discord community before I want to publish anything out. So as a Discord member, you get access to, this is a private gist file that you can use to set this up for yourself. And all you do is just point your agent to a URL and tell it to install the skill and set this up for you. And then basically you'll just set this up. Or you can just take screenshots of this live stream and try to do this yourself and take the things. But I in the last live stream, I pretty much did this type of thing. Oh, there's echo. I wonder why there's echo. Dang it. Oh, I think I know why. Are we still echoing right now? I don't think I'm echoing right now. Let's see. No echo, it's just distortion. Yeah, there's cars that are basically going by on the street here. And I'll take off some of the noise canceling. Okay, so yeah, this is just how it sounds like raw. You can kind of hear more of the noise, more of the ambient audio. You can hear the bus going by right now. Yeah, so then if I turn on the audio filter, then you'll probably hear silence. It sounds more like a studio, right? So that's kind of what's up. So yeah, this is actually me. I'm actually testing out some of my configurations right now. So I'm trying to do this like setup where I'm kind of hanging out live, like this, a little more casual, kind of hanging out living room style, literally in the living room, but also outside. I'm currently in Hawaii. So I have this wireless microphone that's hooked up to my camera. And this is something that I have set up for my IRL streams, because I'll be doing some more IRL streams in San Francisco, but also here in Hawaii a little bit as well. So that's what's up. What's the link for the video for Pete? Oh, yeah, let me get that link for you. It's on here. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so the link for the video, if you go to my YouTube at RayFernando1337, it is the live from here, live in SF tonight. So it's this guy here, and this is the, let me see if I can pop this in here. Cool. Oh yeah, there he is. Yeah, let me share this one. Copy. I'll put this in here, so that way y'all can see it. Oh, cool. AJ got it as well. Yeah, thanks, AJ. Awesome. Sweet, appreciate that. Yeah, so that's the stream. We talked a little bit, Clawfather. I actually have the timestamps, so if you want to go ahead and check this out, you can see when he joined. And then we talked about a little bit of his journey from iOS to JavaScript and stuff and AI. And then like his vision for keeping it open source. That was really interesting. And then also the partnership he talks about for Google Virus Total. And then the origins of like the bot's soul. And one of the cool things he hinted at, and I'll let you kind of figure it out, but like he talked a little bit about drugs. I was going to go a little bit deeper about that, but I wasn't really sure how that was going to work out. But yeah, that's what's up. So that'd be really cool. And yeah, by the way, anyone who signed up for Lizzie's thing on DigitalOcean, she actually says if you did sign up and didn't get the promo code to work, please reach out to Lizzie, and then she will actually give your account the credit. There was a bunch of people who signed up, and it got me really angry, as well as other people who signed up because they spent some money on DigitalOcean, and it was kind of, it was really a sad day. So I just wanted to kind of clear that up for anyone who did watch the video, and to reach out to her directly, and she actually has to do something by hand, which kind of sucks, but that's what's up. So that's what, yeah. Yeah, dude, for sure. If you haven't seen it, we actually have a live stream as well. So this is, I don't know if anyone knows this, but the whole reason why I got into ClaudeBot was from TechFriend himself. So TechFriend is like ahead of his time. And so it was this live stream right here. So she, like, what ended up happening is that TechFriend, I told TechFriend to pull up. And so in here, he's actually is like, we're configuring it live. He told me about it in like our stream. So I was walking with Maddie in San Francisco, and through the stream, he just pulls up, like literally just pulls up. and he's in San Francisco. We're talking about Meta glasses. He was telling me about like people using Claudebot with Meta glasses. I'm like, no way, bro. And so this was kind of insane as far as like a demo and everything. And so then we said like, well, let's just go ahead and go to my car and let's actually set this up right now. So then he walks me through how to get this set up on an EC2 instance inside of AWS. And from there, this was like 4 weeks ago. Yeah, this is like a month ago, basically. So we're like, we're basically one of the like the first like influencers per se to like kind of show how we did this in some funny way. So it was really funny because if you watch the live stream with Pete, he actually says, "Oh, you guys were some of the first influencers to put this out there." So I was like, "I guess so, yeah." We're just kind of doing our thing, right? We're being San Francisco bros. That's what we do, you know, like just kind of pull up and just sit down. And then all of a sudden, Matan from Factory was getting a coffee there at the same place, and he's like, "Yo, Ray." And then I think Augment OS ends up shaking him down for some tokens, and it actually says like, if you want some tokens, just go ahead and send me a DM. And like Factory AI burning tokens on, it was too good. Like these streams are fire. So yeah, y'all got to tune in because we do these IRL streams. I have a playlist now, so you can check the playlist in my thing, and you can kind of check this out. AJ, actually, I'm going to add you as a collaborator to this so that you also show up on the YouTube video. So that way, because right now it's only me and her, so I'll add you so you can see it pull up in here. So yeah, this was a fire stream. This was a really fire stream. Matas. Yeah. Addicted to Ecuador. Yeah. Oh, I like their coffee though. Yeah. Damn, token connoisseur. Can we fly tech friend out to Hawaii for some fun? Let's go. Let's go. I'm down, bro. Yeah. Cool. So that was the stream. So this is the stream that actually started it all, and all thanks to AJ, really, because AJ got us on my bot. I called it YOLO bot at the time. So this is where it was born, and this is how we got started on OpenClaw, and from then on forward, this is kind of the thing that blew up. So yeah, we've been covering this stuff. I think kind of been in the scene here, so you can kind of watch. I have a lot of stuff is my live streams, by the way. So if you want to check stuff out there, that's probably the best way to check things out. I primarily do live streams. I don't do a lot of videos. I try to do like a video maybe once a week, but it's all primarily live stream driven. And so I cover a lot of different topics, but yeah, you can see CloudBot is kind of taking over because it's super important as far as like everything that's kind of going on right now in memes and life and things. So yeah. Do I have a stream on OpenClaw for content automation? I might do something like that in a bit because I'm making some content workflows, especially around scripting and especially around like transcriptions, because I have an app called Ray Transcribes. And so I'm turning one of my apps into basically a skill file. And I've automated a lot of this work, but I'm trying to make it as, like as scalable as possible, which is really, really cool. So I set up OpenClaw with Docker, but on dashboard, the agent doesn't do anything. You may need the token to be passed in so that your gateway can authenticate, and then you'll be able to communicate with your thing there. Start a GoFundMe. Yeah, that'd be fire, bro. Yeah, that's really cool. Better yet in LA. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, thank you guys for hanging out. Yeah, go ahead and check out the Discord. And tomorrow, I'm going to set this thing up on a DJX Spark. So with all the stuff that's going on with all the drama, I feel like local models are going to be a big deal. And I've been doing local models for a little bit while, but I haven't touched them recently because the local models have finally got to a point where they're super intelligent. So if you tune in tomorrow, I'm going to have a stream where I have NVIDIA send me a DGX Spark, and I'm going to go and set that up. And I already have it set up, but I'm going to set it up so that I can run ClawBot on it and then try to see if I can find a good local model to run on it so that I can basically start doing a lot of the local intelligence. So the amazing part of a Spark is that it's really, really fast for inference. So like the difference between an NVIDIA one versus like a Mac is that you're using the Blackwell hardware, all the like GPU stuff that's there pretty much accelerates everything. I have 128 gigabytes of like memory on the device that I can throw some models on, and there's some pretty good local models I can run, and especially with the NVFP4 stuff, which would be really, really fire. So we're going to play around with that tomorrow and see what that looks like and see if I can get that bot running on there on my stream. And yeah, that'd be really, really cool. So if you want to check that out, definitely stay subscribed, and you're going to see some cool stuff. Kimi is great, but you need a lot of hardware. Yeah, that's the other thing. So you can run Kimi if you're through like fireworks.ai, and you can start pulling stuff down. Yeah. Agents can get hired and can get payouts. Yes. Yeah, or just use it inside of Droid. So let's see, if you can get this stuff in Droid, it really won't cost you much. So if you go Ghosty, let me see if I can get this here. CD workspace. Watch, I'll show you real quick. Droid. So the cost for running a model like Kimi is like type review, okay, / model. So right now in Droid, you can run GLM, hold on, where is it? Okay, you can run GLM5 for 0.4 the credits. So if you pay $200, you can use it for that. You can run GLM47 for a quarter of the credits, or you can run Kimi 2.5 inside of Droid for 0.25. So you basically get, for paying $200 a month, for $200, $400, $600, $800 worth of like compute, token wise, for running Kimi K5 inside of probably one of like the best model harnesses. Like, I'll put this up against Cursor for sure. I think Cursor and Droid probably have some of the best, like, I think Droid has some of the best context management. Like, it makes the models smarter when you run it in Terminal Bench because they always outrank Cursor. Cursor, as far as like an IDE, has a lot of other cool features like parallel agents, a lot of like investigative research things that you can just spin off and kind of run things parallel, which are really, really cool and very effective. And as far as like, IDE interface, it's just, they're two different things. Or check this out. You can run the min-max M2.5 for, did you see this? Not even 0.25, it's 0.12. So you can get a lot of credits just running the min-max 2.5. And you don't even have to like go crazy with these different API providers. You can just literally just use the Droid plan. So that's a crazy amount of credits you can use for this type of thing. Obviously, if you want to use the other frontier models, you can do that. I have my 4.7 on a DJX Spark, and the tokens per second is pretty slow. And then before the GLM5 actually landed inside of here, you can. I was configuring this through Fireworks, but yeah, that's what's up. Bring your own. You can also do that too. So you can get more mileage with bringing your own keys. So you can use Droid with your own keys as well, so that it doesn't really matter, and you have a really good agent harness. Yeah. Great stream, man. Yeah. So it's OpenAI Pro time. Yeah. 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 I think OpenAI Pro all the way. $200. Yeah. Let's see. Exactly like on the screen, the network of Opus making their tokens available for works, and then entire, yeah. So yes, Flavin, or use an expensive API browser automation for residential. Yeah, that's what's up. Kimi K5 is only 2.5 per million output tokens. Yep. Yeah. Exactly. Cool. All right, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow, and have a wonderful day. Make sure you stay subscribed. Check out the Discord. I got the links below, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace.